Hey guys, welcome to KK Java Tutorials. In this video tutorial, we'll discuss about argument aggregation in parameterized test in JUnit 5. Yeah. So first of all, let's try to understand some concept, and after that we'll jump for practical example. Yeah. So here are 2 points I would like to discuss. By default, each argument provided to a parameterized test method corresponds to a single method parameter. Consequently, argument sources which are expected to supply a large number of arguments can lead to a large method signature, and that's the reason we have to use a aggregator in parameterized test. Aggregator will allow you to test those kind of parameterized test uh, which takes a huge number of parameter, right? Let's say if you have a like custom object, right? Like a person is having, or product is having person or product, or some kind of custom object which is having huge number of attributes. So those kind of testing you can perform using aggregate parameter, using argument aggregator, right? Second point said in such cases an arguments accessor, it's a API, or you can say interface, can be used instead of multiple parameters. Using this API, you can access the provided arguments through a single argument passed to your test method. In addition, type conversion is also supported if you use arguments accessor. So let's try to understand through an example. So let's jump to the Eclipse, and here is my Eclipse, and here already I have written a few test cases, and I will try to make you understand how we can use argument aggregation, right? So of course argument aggregation basically we use in parametric test, not a simple test. So here you can see, first let's start with the first genuine test case. So here I have written parameterized test, and in CSV sources I have provided. So basically everything starts from the person class. Let me show you. It's a person class, model class, having 4 fields: first name, last name, gender, and date of birth. Date of birth is local date. But if you look in the gender is ename, which is having either male or female, right? uh, and I have one constructor and public getter method. So that's why I have created it's a simple model class person, right, which I am using in my test case. So what I want, so here if you look into the double first parameter, this is second parameter. So first parameter contains how many attributes? 4 attributes. This is the first name, then last name, this is the gender, this is gender, and this is the date of birth. See, in comma separator you can declare a set of basically values which represents the person object. And now you can see how we are going to convert the first set then second set into corresponding person object. So first approach is that in your test case method itself you can use argument accessors. So argument accessor is it's a API, or it's a interface, just you have to declare. And after that what you can do, uh, arguments accessor get a string. So first parameter is the string, second parameter is string, so just you can get from this declare CSV sources. But when you have a type like not numeric but ename, then you have to use the get. So this is the zero index, this value belongs to the zero index, this is first index, third, fourth, something like that. But in second index means third elements, right, which is not a simple type but enum type, right? Then you have to use the index, and you have to pass what type of argument you have. So gender dot class, it's a enum. Similarly, fourth attribute you have a date, right? So you have to again, you have to use get method, you have to pass the index and what type of argument do you have. So of course this is a local date type, so local date dot class you have to pass. If you look in the person, this is local date, right? And this is a gender type, which is ultimately enum type, right? So once, and make sure that you are passing these attributes in the same order how you have declared in the constructor, right? So in that way we can construct a person object, and after that we can write like here I am checking person dot get first name is Jane, then I go inside and gender is female, right? So just I'm checking the gender using assert equals, right? If that is not the case, person first name is not Jane, then second person name is John, of course, who is a male, right? So I'm checking gender for that, and it is a generic code for both persons, right? Both persons last name is Daw. So just I'm checking last name is equal to Daw or not using assert equals, and similarly I'm checking year of birth for both persons, right? Which is 1995, right? Just I am extracting year from person date of birth and comparing with this year. So it's pretty straightforward. This is the first way. Second approach, what you can do, you can create one aggregator class rather than, if you adapt this approach, then everywhere in all the test cases you have to pass argument accessor and you have to do this stuff repeatedly, right? So if you don't want to do that, then what you can do, you can create one aggregator class, right? So something like this. So here I have given some instruction over here. This class either you can create as a top level class or external class. When you create as external class, then you don't need to create a static class, right? External class or top level class, even you can't create as a static class in Java, right? If you want to create as internal class, then you can create as a static class, right? If you This is mandatory. If you create as an internal class, then you have to create as a static class. That's the first condition. If you create as external class, then you don't need to create as a static class, right? Now, so if you implement this interface is having a method is called aggregate argument. So you have to override a return type. You can see over here object. So any kind of object you can return. So here I have overridden aggregate arguments, and here aggregate arguments I am passing. Apart from that, you'll get one parameter context, right? So from this arguments accessor, what we have done over here, same stuff I am doing over here, and initializing the person object and returning it. Pretty simple. Apart from that, if you want some more information to be faced, then you may use this parameter context. If you look at the parameter context, you have a lot of things. You can find all the annotations declared on your basically class. You can find a reptable annotation. You can find many more things. You can get all the parameters. You can get all the annotations and all. So these are the things you can retrieve from here. But here I am not using this attribute. Just I am using this attribute to initialize the person object. Now once you create the custom aggregator, then a couple of ways you can use in your test method. First, you have to use add aggregate with, and you need to pass your custom aggregator, right? And you'll get person object to be initialized over here, and you can do the all kind of assertion within that. So here I am just checking the person last name and date of birth for both the person, right? Now next, what you can do, sometimes you will be irritated, right? Always you have to pass this aggregator class. You don't want to do that, then another option what you have, you can create one annotation. So here I have given the name as CSV2 person, right? Give the meaningful and here retention policy you have to specify runtime, target you have to specify parameter, and aggregate with what we have been using over here, that you can declare over here, aggregate with in annotation itself, right? Aggregate with person aggregator dot class, which is ultimately pointing over here. And after that, this annotation you can use, whatever annotation we have declared, that you can use in your test method. So here I can do add CSV to person, and that way this will be converted into the person. And whatever you want to play with this person object within the test class, you can do. So just here I am checking person last name and date of birth, just year of birth I am checking, right? So I'm going to run this entire test class, and let's see how it runs. So here you can see I'm going to expand, and I'm going to explain each and every test case. So here this test case got passed, right? If I expand it one, so this test for these two parameters, right? These two parameters, so it is executed twice, and for both test case has been passed. Now for second test case, this is the test case. So here we have again two parameters, and for both test case has been passed. For third, we have a three set of persons object parameter, right? These three. So this test has been executed 3 times, and for all test case has been passed, right? So guys, I hope you understood. This is really very important when you create a test case, parameterized test case with basically a custom object which is having lot of attribute, right? So that's all I wanted to discuss in this video tutorial. Definitely this code again I'm going to post on my blog kkjavatutorials.com, and you can get a source link from video description part. So guys, big thank you for watching this video, and see you there in the next video tutorial.